Good morning, everybody. Today we are going to do some fun little things. I actually have a very chill and relaxing day planned for myself. We are headed right now to go pick up a coffee. It is 8:40 in the morning, and I have one of my Christmas presents that I'm actually cashing in today. My husband got me a deep tissue massage scheduled at a local spa, so I'm getting that done later. But until then, we are just going to go pick up some coffee, maybe get a little something to eat, and go thrifting. So I have not been into any of the thrift stores since the new year started, and I know a lot of people do some good clean outs after Christmas and after New Year's. So we're gonna go in and see if there's anything special, anything surprising that we can find, maybe even some books that people may have gotten rid of. You know, of course there's no guarantees, but we're gonna go and have a look and see if there's anything that catches our eye. I am recording this just a couple of days after New Year's, and you guys, we need to talk about Stranger Things. The Stranger Things finale, there will be no spoilers here, but I felt like the ending was pretty perfect. Like, I don't have complaints. I watched it, I cried, my husband cried while he was watching it. It was incredibly good. I can't believe it was 2 hours long, but I also think that that is perfect, because when we went to start the finale, my husband was like, how long is this gonna be? And I told him, I was like, I don't know. You know, it might be a little bit longer than the other episodes. It was 2 hours, and it was just so good. I loved, especially like the very ending. Oh my gosh, it was so good. I can't believe that 10 years of this show, 10 years of this fandom are over. I mean, of course you can always rewatch or like remain fans, but I can't believe it's done. And I also can't believe it's been 10 years. I started watching this movie, this show. I don't think I watched it when it first initially came out. I think I started watching it with my husband. So I think I started watching it maybe more around 2018. I think it was when season 2 was about to come out, or season 2 had come out, that I started watching it. And I immediately fell in love with it. We both were really into it, and we've watched every season together at some point. But while we were watching it, my husband actually made the comment that this was, you know, the end of an era. And it made me think back, of course, in my little Swiftie brain, to Taylor Swift changing her lyrics to say, like, it was the end of an era during the Eras tour. And it made me think, you know, end of a decade. And it was a decade of Stranger Things, and it was an era, and it's over. And that's crazy. I'm so interested and excited for the actors to see, like, where it is that they go from here and what it is that they do next. Even just the fact that Millie Bobby Brown is a grown woman who is married and has adopted a child is crazy. It's crazy to me. I mean, for the last 10 years, this has been a huge part of their lives, not just ours. Because, you know, they film things so much longer ago than when it comes out. So they spend years wrapped up in a season where we just, you know, might have binge watched it in a week, or, you know, in this case, watched it over a couple of weeks. And it's crazy. It's making me feel old. I did also just celebrate my birthday not that long ago, so that's also making me feel kind of old. The closer I get to 30, the more I realize, oh, I'm not as young as I used to be. Since we're talking a little bit about New Year's, I also want to mention what my reading goal has been set at for 2026. Last year, my reading goal was 75 books, and this year I am setting it at 50. I did reach my goal really early last year, but then I fell into a huge reading slump in September that carried on for a couple of months. And I'm just kind of wanting to take it a little bit easier on the reading if I can, not force myself to have to be reading something at all points of the day, focus more on quality of books, try to get a little bit more comfortable with DNFing when I'm not feeling it, because I think with me having started the YouTube channel a year ago, it just threw me off in how I was reading, not in necessarily a bad way. I think it was really pushing me to read a lot, read some new things, read some things that I wouldn't have typically read in the past. But at the same time, I think I was just really focusing on quantity over quality, and my ratings showed that for quite a while. I think there were a lot of 3 stars. There were a couple of like 2.5 stars. I think I had maybe 1 2-star. So I want to make sure I'm reading things that I'm enjoying and not just reading things that, you know, I'm trying to check off a box on a list. I don't think that this year I'm going to do like a list of books that I want to get read in 2026. I didn't end up completing the one that I made for 2025, and I think that was another thing that was putting a little bit of pressure on me to read stuff that I just wasn't necessarily in the mood for. I do have books in mind that I know I want to read, but I think I'm going to keep them there in my mind, and then when I am in the mood for them, I'm going to pick them up and read them, instead of trying to force myself into doing something that I'm not really feeling up to. Basically, I want to try to get back to how I was reading when I first got back into reading several years ago, where I was just reading anything that sounded good. Whether that was young adult, whether that was romance, whether that was fantasy, whatever it was, I was reading what sounded good to me and not what people were expecting me to read, not what I felt like people were expecting me to read. I just want to read what I want to put it simply. So I did lower my goal. I'm keeping my goal at 50. I may exceed that, but I'm not going to put myself, you know, under a bunch of pressure. I also want to try to just be present, you know, live my life, do all of my everyday life things. And then also in the year of 2026, we're gonna have a few little like life changes type things going on, where my husband's going to be finishing school, my daughter will potentially be starting school, and we want to just, you know, I want to give myself some leeway in those areas whenever it comes to how much I'm expecting out of myself for reading. It is a hobby, and I want to enjoy my hobby. Okay, but we are now at Starbucks. I got a Starbucks gift card also for Christmas, so we're gonna go in, get us a little drink. I should have brought my Kindle, but I did not. I'm in the middle of like 4 or 5 different books right now. I started my Quicksilver reread with an audiobook. I'm also doing the audiobook for As Good as Dead, which is the final book from Holly Jackson in the Good Girls Guide to Murder series. And I'm doing that one on audiobook as well. It's very good. And then what else am I reading? I started The Last Letter by Rebecca Yarros. I haven't really gotten to get into it yet, but I did start it. I think I'm a couple chapters in. And then I'm also listening to the audiobook for The Last Wish of Bristol Keats, which is the second book that comes after the Courting of Bristol Keats by Mary E. Pearson. It's a fantasy book, very cute. I could have swore the first book was young adult, but the second book has a little bit more content in it that is leaning towards adult. Like, it may still technically fall in the young adult category. I might need to look it up, but it's got a little bit more than what I was expecting going into it. Anyways, let's get coffee. Thank you. I always think it's so funny to see how it is that they spell my name, and this is what they went with this time. Yeah, that's a new one. I haven't seen that one before. I just realized, because she asked me, she was like, do you want that in a to-go cup or do you want it in for hereware? I don't think they've ever asked me that before. I don't know if that's a new thing at my Starbucks or if that's a new thing for Starbucks overall, but they, I guess, are gonna have, I'm assuming, glass cups or ceramic mugs or something for when you're having your drink in-house. I think that definitely kind of steps up the, you know, Starbucks experience, makes it a little bit more special in some ways. I don't know, I think that's pretty cool. I ended up just getting a caramel latte. I really wanted the caramel brulee latte since they still have that, but technically mine was sold out, so we couldn't get that one. Now we are gonna go out to the thrift store. It is 9 o'clock. They just opened, so we're gonna go over there and see if they have anything good. don't know where I would even wear this. I'm just trying it on because it's my size. This brand is expensive, like over $200. This is the Alex's Evenings gowns. This is like a little cocktail dress. It's cute. And it's kind of my size, like it's mostly my size. My issue is it's a little tight up here. Oh, but it's so cute. Yeah, like right here, it feels a little tight. Like I think I would be messing with this anytime I wore it. If I wore it, I don't even know where I'd wear this to. I might put it back just because, you know, so somebody else can find it. But oh, it's so cute. $9. What? You guys, I found the best thing ever. This little bag, I bought it for $9, okay? And when I was looking at it, I was like, wow, this feels like super high quality. And it comes with a like card holder. I'm assuming it's a card holder. That's what this looks like. As well as, which one of these is a card holder? I don't know which one. But it's a 3-piece. It was $8.99 and I looked it up and it is a $95 bag. And I need to look if that includes the two little like card holder things or if that's just the bag. This is a $95 bag. Just paid $9 for. Okay, my massage is in like 45 minutes, so I'm 5 minutes from home. I'm gonna go get cleaned up, changed, and then we're gonna go get a massage. Okay, that was the best Goodwill find ever. I know I already said that. I'm home, I just got home, and I looked up the purse again, and I realized the wallets did not come with the purse. So the little card holders and like wallets did not come with the purse. So for $95, you only got the bag if you got this brand new. I got this and the two little wallets, okay? Oh my God. This one, the big one, is also $95 for this. Okay, so we're just under 200 bucks right here. That would put it at $190, okay? Then this one is $35. So $190 plus $35. We have $225 worth of this brand's purse and bags and all. I paid $9. $9. I cannot believe it. Okay, I need to get dressed. I need to get cleaned up for the massage. Okay, I just got out of my massage. That was really, really great. I didn't realize it going in. It was actually an hour and a half and it was a deep tissue massage. So I really needed that. I'm trying to decide now where I want to go eat and if I want to go get something to eat. It is raining and apparently not too far from here it's actually hailing, so I don't want to like be out for too long. I'm kind of thinking about actually like next door to here there is a tea house that I've never been to, and I'm contemplating going to the tea house and getting a sandwich, either eating it there or taking it home. I just need to decide what I'm gonna do. I don't have my Kindle with me. If I brought my Kindle, I would for sure go right here and do that. And I would read while I ate. Okay, so I'm home now. I did end up door dashing. I got me a green goddess salad from Panera, and I'm just going to color and listen to my audiobook for a little while, and then we'll see what else I do. I'm trying to have a really chill me day, okay? I want to look up that dress that I thrifted and see if I can find some information on that. So I've been working on my reading journal. I finished off my stuff from 2025, so I wrote out my last few books that I needed to add in there, as well as counted up everything for like how many audiobooks, ebooks, physical books, and library books I read. It looks like I did 37 audiobooks, 31 ebooks, 17 physical books, and then 2 library books for a total of 88. I think I put 87 is what my Fable app says, but that's because one of the books that I read is an ARC, so it's not listed on Fable currently. So I'll just have to like go back and edit that once it gets published. But then I went ahead and I got started on 2026. I did these cute little balloons, and then I'm doing it a little bit different than what I've done the last couple of years. So I did a book bingo side, and I wrote that my reading goal is 50 books. I think I mentioned either in this video or last video, I don't remember. I also decided to do a book bingo this year, and I'm just gonna color them in as I reach each one and as I come across each one in my books. So I did Made Me Cry, New to Me Author, Friends to Lovers, Purple Cover, Library Book, DNF, a summer book, start a new series, a historical fiction, finish a series, reread a book, winter feels, thriller, new release, read in one day, a nonfiction, enemies to lovers. Did I put enemies to lovers on here twice? No, that was Friends to Lovers. Physical TBR book, 5-star book, dual POV, made into a movie, fake dating, red cover, rom-com, and fall feels. So all of that is on this page, and again, I'll just color these in as I finish them. And then over here, I did my format tracker, just like I have the last couple of years. I just did it on a smaller scale so I can keep up with my audiobooks, ebooks, physical books, and library books, and I'll just color them in as I finish them. And then I wrote their numbers on here. I did write 75 books on these shelves. That way, if I do go over 50, I still have enough of them on here. And then for tracking how many books I read each month, I actually did this little grid format this time. And I think that this looks really nice. I think it's going to be easy to compare to each month to each other and see which months I read less compared to which months I read more. And then, like I've done in the past, I've just got my list set up here for writing out the books that I read, as well as when I finished them and what I rated them. And I might do one more page of that or one more page of something else at some point, but I'm just going to leave that open for now because this only went to 56 in this portion. So if I do need to have that overflow onto the next page, I just want to make sure I have that open and available so that I have that space if needed. Now, at the time I'm recording this, I have now finished one book. And I finished a Good Girls, so it's one of the Good Girls Guide to Murder series books. It's the last one. Which one is it? As Good as Dead, I'm pretty sure is what it's called. So I need to write that one down on my list and go ahead and mark everything off that is applicable for that. Okay, so I didn't actually think that it would mark anything off of my book bingo, but it does. It finishes a series. So I'm now going to color that one in. This one actually I didn't do a lot of like details on this one. So I'm gonna try to color this in and there we go. We've got one marked off of our bingo card, and we've got our 2026 reading journal all set up. Okay, everybody, that is where I'm going to be ending this vlog. Thank you guys so much for coming along and spending the day with me. I had a great time thrifting, a very relaxing time at my massage and getting coffee and coloring. So again, thank you for coming along with me to do that. I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!